Hello everyone, and today we will talk about Resident Evil 4 Remake. This game was in contention for the Game of the Year at the Game Awards, and deservedly so. So what makes this game so good? First of all, Resident Evil 4 Remake is one of those games that after you beat, you immediately want to go back and replay it. This is so rare nowadays, and most of the times when I finish a game, I just feel relieved that it's over. With most games, it feels like a chore. However, that is not the case with Resident Evil 4 Remake. After I beat it the first time, I just wanted to go back and start a new game. And this says a lot, considering Resident Evil 4 Remake is by far the longest remake of them all. I never felt bored by the length of the game. On the contrary, I wished it lasted even longer. Secondly, the game is so much fun. You can choose between a variety of weapons for different enemies. For example, if they come close to you, you can use a shotgun to blow their heads off, and it feels so satisfying in this game. The gore is on another level, even compared to Resident Evil 2 Remake. And when you stun an enemy, you can perform a melee combo, Leon's infamous spinning kick, or you can finish them off using a knife. If the enemy is further away from you, you can use a rifle or a stingray. If there are multiple enemies at once, you can use a grenade for an area of effective damage. And all of these weapons can be upgraded at the merchant. Furthermore, I really like the atmosphere in this game. It is different than the original Resident Evil 4. It is darker. The colors, the setting, and the tone are all darker. The game is also scarier in certain parts, especially to the end of the game with the regenerators. And I love the characters in this game, especially the protagonists. Leon is a much more matured man. He is well trained physically and mentally. But he's still kind-hearted and wants to protect and help people. His signature one-liners are still there. Ashley is a very different character than the Ashley of the original Resident Evil 4. She's very likable, mature, helpful. She doesn't scream all the time and ask Leon for help. On the contrary, she helps Leon a lot in his mission. Ashley is caring. She cares about Leon, about Luis, about Ada. Luis is another character that got more of a backstory, and that is great. He plays this guy that any of us can recognize from our lives. The one who cracks jokes all the time, is cheerful on the surface, but is actually trying to make amends, to be a better person. His character is much deeper than what it appears to be at the beginning of the game. A well-written character indeed. I have heard a lot of complaints about Ada. Some of them are justified, but some of them are not. And let me explain why. Ada is a mercenary. It is only natural that she would not be this emotional character all the time. She has to focus on the mission, on her job. She has to be professional. That's why she may come across as bored sometimes. But when it matters, she does show emotion and helps Leon and Ashley. In my opinion, she deeply cares about Leon. It is as clear as a day. It can be seen on her facial expressions. The only thing I dislike about her is her delivery of lines, and they seem monotonous at times. Another thing I liked about this game was the variety of enemies. There were so many of them, and arguably some of the most difficult sections, like the village, for example, are at the beginning of the game. But there is this sense of progression, because as you move on further into the game, you become stronger, and the enemies that were once scary to you are not anymore. But then we are introduced with the new enemies, and then it gets more difficult. And the best antagonist in this game for me was Krauser. His character is no longer a quick time event, but a real boss that one needs to defeat. Throughout the story, he explained his motives and why he completely turned to the dark side. His character is more fleshed out. In my opinion, he's a much better villain than Salazar or Sadler. And some sections of the game have been completely changed, and it is for the better. The RE engine is incredible as always. The game runs smooth, and it looks really good. It can be played on a variety of hardware. All in all, I would definitely give this game a 10 out of 10. Resident Evil 4 Remake is not just one of the best remakes ever made, but one of the best games ever made. And I recommend it. And I promise that you won't regret playing this masterpiece. And if you enjoyed this review, consider subscribing to my channel. It would be much appreciated. And thank you for staying with me. See you later and take care.